Ayubowan. Good morning to all of you beautiful people. We are gathered here today to witness, ironically, the inaugural virtual conference or virtual award ceremony of Eco Spindles Private Limited. Why did I say ironically? Inaugural ceremony, inaugural award ceremony rather, had to be on a virtual platform adhering to the new normal due to the current pandemic situation. Let me welcome all of you to this beautiful morning of the Eco Spindles Private Limited inaugural award ceremony. To start up the day's proceedings, I would like to cordially invite the Managing Director of the company, Eco Spindles Private Limited, Dr. Anush Amarasinghe, to address all of you and welcome all of you to the award ceremony. Dr. Amarasinghe.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. Welcome to the inaugural EcoSpindles Yarns virtual conference on our growth plans and product offerings. Many of you may have heard of us, but only some of you may know details of what we do and the products we offer. So we felt that it would be timely to host this conference to inform all of you about what we do, what we produce, our current production capacities, and our plans for expansion. Most of you probably know about our efforts in collecting plastic bottle waste in Sri Lanka. By doing so, we provide an authentic and auditable track for the raw materials used in the recycled polyester yarns we produce. Moreover, the polyester yarn produced would have the lowest carbon footprint. We know of no other single entity in the world that do these collections in such a scale whilst producing yarn at the same time. Some 20% of the plastic that Sri Lanka imports is recycled by us. There are several programs we have launched to collect this plastic waste, including programs that involve the fishing communities, armed forces, NGOs, government, and corporates. Most of these programs have been captured on film and are available to you for use in your presentations to potential customers. Please contact Nalaka or any members of our sales and marketing teams in case you require these clips. We are also happy to host any of your customers at our factories to showcase what we do. I, for one, can go on talking about our plastic waste collection efforts, but I know that time is limited this morning. So without any further ado, let us begin this conference by first listening to Nalaka about our recycled polyester yarn production facilities and expansion plans. Thank you very much. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you, Dr. Amarasinghe. How many of you remember the carbonated glass bottles that we used to buy when we were kids? And then, with time, people found cheaper options. We moved into plastic bottles, but we never thought of the pollution that can happen to the environment with moving into cheaper options. These beautiful people at EcoSpindles have taken on that responsibility and have taken on the responsibility to make the environment beautiful by recycling these PET bottles and use it for betterment of our beautiful nature. Every company needs to have plans for the future. That's where the future of the company stands. So let me welcome Mr. Nalaka Seniviratna, who is Head of Business of Eco Spindles Private Limited in yarn operations to tell you all about the future plans or growth plans of Eco Spindles Private Limited. Over to you.
A very good morning to every one of you. It gives me a pleasure to warmly welcome you all again for the first ever annual award ceremony of Eco Spindles. Unfortunately, due to the prevailing situation, we have to conduct this as a virtual session. But let's hope and pray a physical gathering next year. As of today, our textile industry is highly dependent on the imports of raw materials such as yarns, fabrics, and chemicals. I'm sure you all have remembered how much you have struggled during the closure of China due to the pandemic. So we were running out of raw materials, unable to run our plants to meet customer deadlines. However, as a country, we're still struggling. The struggling part is not uh, ended. So due to lack of vessels, we are waiting for the raw material to come. And again, due to the same reason, cost has gone up. Not only that, but also the limited capacity in our ports again gives us a lot of troubles. We as eco-spindles, we wanted to support each other to overcome such dependencies. So this is the same reason we have decided to increase our capacity and the footprint within the country. Before moving into the capacity growth plan, so I will take you through the group structure. BPPL Holdings is owned by four main investors, namely Infinity Capital, LOLC, Hydramani Holdings, and Public. Bearer Brush Private Limited and Eco Spindles Private Limited are the two main subsidiaries of BPPL. So BPPL Holdings is founded in 1984, mainly targeting to manufacture household and industrial brushes. So major raw material at that time was coir, but later in 2008, the monofilament line, extrusion line has started. So raw material has to be imported, but that is where we have started using the plastic raw materials. Later on, in 2013, the PET bottle washing line has started. That gives the opportunity to use the waste raw material, waste PET within the country. 2018 was a remarkable year where the historical decision being made to introduce the first ever spinning line to Sri Lanka. And within less than 2 years down the line, we were able to talk about an expansion with the help of our esteemed customers. Phase one, which is our current status, where we are having a capacity of around 80 tons per month with a product mix of 75 denier up to 600 denier. So main product is raw texture yarn. I would say about 90% it's raw white and about 10% it's dop dye currently. So machine we have imported from Germany. It's a very special design where during the next presentation of Jerem, he will talk about the speciality and how we differentiate from other recycled yarn manufacturers. Moving into the phase two, we'll be ended up with about 70 tons per month capacity based on 75 denier yarn count. Same machine manufacturer supports us from Germany, which is Barmag. And during our phase two expansion, we are focusing on dope dyed more and more. But 75% we'll be targeting with raw white, recycled raw white, and about 25% will be targeting recycled dope dyed. First two key facts of feasibility study and ordering of spinning line being completed on the phase 2, and we're targeting a commercial production somewhere around April 2022. Not only phase 2, we are thinking of a phase 3 expansion as well. But all depends on the support of our esteemed customers. I'm sure you will support. So during our phase 3 expansion, we are targeting the 50 denier and a capacity of around 100 tons per month. But still, we are having certain challenges. We foresee, of course, a lot of challenges on raw material availability. In a way, it's a good news for the country, which we are running out of plastic bottles. But as the business, we will not be able to continue running without bottles. But in order to overcome, we are planning to work with government very closely to get more and more bottles rather than going into bury them and to burn them. And similarly, we are planning to import some bottle flakes as well in the phase 3 expansion. You will see from 2018 up to 2020 how much we have grown in terms of number of customers. So we have started our journey with working around like 6 customers, and later it moves up to about 16 customers. By now we are working with 40 odd customers. I would say the mills, brands, and vendors. So some of them are at the very beginning sampling stage, some of them are in the bulk stage, the commercial stage. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for the extended support given us, and we hope for the same in future to come. Thank you very much again.
So all you valued business partners actually now know what you're getting at. They're not only concentrating on phase 2, but they have already made plans for the third phase as well. Having said that, I'm sure as valued business partners of Spindles, every one of you knows the product lines and offerings of Spindles, which they can offer you. But we have a very special presentation which will give you a detailed product offerings of Spindles Private Limited, which will be presented to you by Mr. Jerome De Silva, Executive Sales and Marketing. I will now hand this over to Jerome.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It gives me privilege to present you the specialty product range offered by Sri Lanka's very first spinning mill, Spindles. I'm about to take you through the slides, which would showcase you how we differentiate ourselves not only through the product range, but also through our sustainability strengths. Presenting you Eco's Green. We are the first ever commercially available flake to POY manufacturer in the world, which means during our process, we totally eliminate the production of polymer chips. This differentiates us not only with the virgin polyester manufacturers, but also from other recycled polyester manufacturers. As a result, our water, energy consumptions, as well as greenhouse gas emissions are lesser as depicted in the graph. Hence, our carbon footprint stands as low as 14.56 kilograms of carbon dioxide for a production of 1 kilogram of yarn. Apart from these, the ability to use Eco's green yarn with other product ranges offered by Spindles is also one of the significant benefits. It also has an enhancement for the breathability of the fabric and is extremely comfortable to wear. Not only does it have a soft texture, due to the advanced technology, it enables improved CIE whiteness. which is a commonly used whiteness index. The yarn is capable of higher dye affinity, and also it can withstand stress with a higher breaking strength. As indicated at the bottom of the slide, the application of Eco's green yarn is spread across all textile related areas. Eco's Amy, a specialty yarn with antimicrobial properties. This product has been tested and proven for strong antimicrobial efficiency by a certified independent laboratory. Fabrics made out of Eco's Amy ensures better odor control, inhibits growth of bacteria and fungus, protecting the wearer from harmful microbes. The active antimicrobial properties are proven to withstand 50 wash cycles. Eco's Shield. This is our next specialty yarn with proven protection against adverse effects of UV rays. It claims for an impressive 50 plus UPF, which is ultraviolet protection factor. In other words, excellent protection against UV rays. Eco's Shield provides both wet and dry UV protection in contrast to the sole dry UV protection offered by cotton. It is able to combine with other Eco's proprietary technologies for additional benefits. It is also significant to note that it's cotton like touch and feel. Next, we present you our dope dyed product range, Eco's Chroma. What's special about Eco's Chroma is the water, energy consumption, and greenhouse gas emission saving compared to conventional package dyeing. Due to the process significance, the material will have deep color penetration, providing high color fastness. This will be a permanent property of the fabric. Ecos Chroma provides better flexibility in custom color matching. Compared to other recycled PET manufacturers, we have a lesser MOQ for a fresh production. If it is being produced by that time, you may get as little as one cone. It is also capable of achieving color uniformity. Ultimately, it will cost you lesser for the end product compared to conventional fabric dyeing. Ecos Oceanic for a cleaner and safer ocean. The name itself denotes where this product comes from. The plastic waste from the ocean and coastal areas comes under Ecos Oceanic. Our efforts are to reduce plastic pollution, negate adverse effects to underwater biosphere and marine ecosystem, also resulting in a sustaining of the beauty of the beaches. Apart from the contributions to the environment, the significance of our product is our ability to provide traceability of the source of yarn. Last, but definitely not the least, we introduce Ecos Evolve, yarn made out of green and brown PET bottles, giving the yarn the beautiful natural color of its bottle flake. This product comes with highest color fastness and by all means is eco-friendly as no pigments or dye stuff are used, not forgetting extremely low energy and water consumption in producing this very special yarn. At present, we are capable of producing DTY denier counts from 75 up to 600 with a filament range between 36 up to 288. In our next phase, as mentioned by Nalaka in his presentation, we will be capable of producing finer denier counts of 50. Now that we've taken you through and given an understanding of our current offerings, we believe you would like to know what we have planned for the future. So we have in line cationic dyeable polyester, commonly known as CDP, which dyes at a lower temperature and in fact is one of the most sought after products by our customers. Also, we have in line non-silver based antimicrobial DTY. So our target is to cater to the high demand as as for the CDP to cater the requirement in the industry. This is something special. So Eco Spindles hope to provide hang tags for the garments produced with over 50% of Eco's yarn. So this is the kind of hang tag we are hoping to provide to be attached to the end garment. There will be a procedure to follow, which will be started at the yarn ordering stage. We would also like to have 4 fabric hangers as a request from you all, particularly to be presented to the vendors and the brands, all of course with the consent of the particular party. I believe this will create opportunities to both parties. Well, that brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerome. I think it's wonderful to hear the products and services, or products rather, what Eco Spindles have to offer. I mean, I feel privileged to be sitting in this room with these three gentlemen because I personally feel that they make our environment better for living. Not only these three gentlemen sitting over here, there are many people behind the scenes working so hard in making our planet Earth beautiful. So now we've gone through the growth plans, we've gone through the product offerings. I'm sure all of you will have little questions which you need clarifications of. We are moving towards that part of the day. We are moving to the Q&A session uh, of the morning. We have we have a very small time frame actually. If you do have any questions, please be kind enough to raise the hand button, or press the raise hand button on your Zoom platform or virtual platform, so that uh, we will let you in and you can fire your questions at these three gentlemen.
Yeah, okay. My name is Asanka Fonseca. I'm, representing the Deep Products Limited at Biagama. So, are you all into production of this 300 denier to 600 denier PET polyester? Was it new or was it in the production?
Um, Perhaps Nalaka, you can take that question.
Yes, Asanka. Of course, that is in commercial production. So currently we do up to 600 denier.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions coming in? Any more questions, clarifications to be?
Yeah,
All
Dilshan
right, we have
here.
no more.
Yeah, I'm Dilshan from Bodyline. Just wanted to, thank Anush and the team. It was very impressive, and we have been working with you for the last maybe 2 years. And we see the brands valuing what's been done in the island as well. So thank you very much for it. So my question was to understand whether you all are looking at lower yarn counts as well. Is it in the plans? Are you taking that up in the near future? Just wanted to understand. Currently, what I understand is what you can do is 70 and above. Wanted to understand whether you will be planning for lower counts. Thank you.
Perhaps I'll take that. Thank you, Dilshan, for your comments, and it has been a pleasure working with all of you these past few years. We wouldn't have got to where we have got to if not for the support and guidance and help that all of you have given us. Yes, is the answer. The short answer. We are currently producing 50 denier at an experimental level, not at a commercial level. With our next phase, we hope to go down to 50 denier yarns as well.
Thank you.
Do we have more questions coming in? I think we have time for about two more questions.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You can go ahead.
Hi, my name is Luminda. I'm calling. I'm from Fantasia, Narrow Fabric, and I just want to know. It's a thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, and it's a great event. And also, I would like to know two things. One is what is the CDP timeline, right? Number two is, are you planning to do any TPM or in your plant in future? Those are the two questions that which I want some answers from your side.
Thank you. Nalaka, perhaps you can.
Yes, Duminda, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the question. Of course, CDB timeline, which we have carried out our initial trials, I would say the results was like 50-50. We really wanted to carry out certain other trials. Minimum, you would think 6 to 12 months at least for us to get ready with the commercial level production for CDP. And to answer the second question on pisting, we thought of introducing the pisting into because we have seen a lot of demand all around the country for pisting or the TPM yarns. I would say not during the phase 2 expansion. Definitely, we would think during the phase 3 expansion, Davinder.
Or perhaps in between 2 and 3, we can look at that
One,
as well.
one more question. Is there any counts that you are now working on CDP? Is there any counts that?
Yes, we are working with 75 denier mainly.
Only 75.
Yes, basically, if the technology is there, it doesn't matter where we can go up to go down to 50 denier with the expansion of the next phase.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks.
We have more questions.
Thank you. I think we have more questions.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Supun from Nature Up Group of Companies. Just wanted to know, like, I saw your hand tags. You are supposed to give us hand tags, right? So that hand tags only available in the Chrome brand, or is it with the total range of products?
Jerem, do you want to answer that?
Yes, it's not only for Chroma. It's basically we are offering for all the products that I've taken through the slides. So it's for all. I mean, you can see for each and every. So I just wanted to show the samples of what we have. I mean, samples for what we have. So for each product range, as you can clearly see, we have prepared hang tags, irrespective of the product.
I think our requirement is for 50% of the yarn to be from us, from Eco Spindles. If you meet that criteria, then we're happy to give these hang tags to you.
Okay, thank you.
So Nalaka, yeah.
Yes, just a few addition to that. There's a particular guideline. I think Jeremy has very briefly showcased during his presentation. So we will be sharing the detailed version of it. What guidelines be followed in order for us to offer this free hand tags. Thank you, Supun, for your question.
We have one more question, I think, there.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Samira from MA's Krida. I would like to understand what are the innovative yarn types you are looking for next year or year after, because you are the only recycle police excluding the country, and it's great that if you could look at the different cross sections and new yarns. So, are there any plans in pipeline, Nalaka?
Go ahead, Nalaka. Yeah.
Yeah, Samir, of course, as we have mentioned in our presentation, the next immediate two products would be the CDP, which we are focused on is CDP, and uh, the of course we are thinking of having different products like you know conductive yarns, etc., etc. But the capacity gives us certain challenge because first we need to focus on increasing our capacity, and secondly we would think of going for this sort of innovative products. Even though we are investing on innovations for the time being, without required capacity to cater the customers requirements won't be possible. Definitely we will take your point. We know you being supporting us and being in touch with us very closely, asking for, I know you're the one who's really wanted to have more and more innovative yarns to in order to deliver to Nike. We'll definitely take it positively and think of what we could do, Samira. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nalaka.
Just to add to that, Nalaka,
Hello.
Samira, I think, just to add to what Nalaka has said, I think our immediate, if you're looking at the next 12 months or so, 12, 18 months, we will be focusing a lot more on the dope dyed yarns, and also the fine accounts. So there'll be new innovations coming in that area. And also, as Jerem showed in his presentation, we already have a wide range of yarns that we offer, everything from, oceanic yarns to natural yarns to, the dope dyed yarns and so on. So we'll continue to do that. I mean, that is really where we see that we can add more value in coming up with new yarns. We spend quite a bit of time on that. And we'll continue to do so, together with all of you.
I think we have another question online.
Yeah, this is Chatumudur from Ocean Lanka. Yeah, this is Chatumudur from Ocean Lanka. Actually, we have done many of development with EcoSpindle last 2 years, but unfortunately, we didn't hit the target. I mean, we are unable to convert into bulk because main main issue was that is your MCQ. MOQ actually. Is there any plan to reduce the MOQ volume? So because when we quoted the price to customer with that high MOQ, sometimes we are unable to get the bulk. Is there any plan to reduce the MOQ on in your side?
Sure, Chatamadur, thank you very much for your question. Of course,
Yeah.
Compared to most of the other yarn manufacturers in the world, our MOQs, I would say, not that so big, which is like 2 tons for a fresh production. But most of these yarn counts which we have showcased is running commonly. Say for example, 75 denier, 150 denier. If you wanted to have even a single cone out of these commodity yarns, we are happy to supply, which we already did. In fact, for your latest trials, which you wanted to have only like 90 cones, we have supplied. Even we can do that. We can continue the same, Chatu Madhur, for sure. Let us know, case by case. Let's handle it. Only for fresh production, it will be like 2 tons. Other than that, we can support you even with a single corn.
Okay, that is for Nalaka. For the development, of course, you given a tremendous support to us. So we also want to convert into bulk immediately, because like customer like Hugo Boss and there are so many customers willing to get this product.
Yeah, this is Prasanna from Coates. Hi, hope you can hear me.
We do. We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my question is basically, recently we have faced, shortages in supply, because we are not buying, probably we are not buying as much as fabric supplies, but then again we have noticed that there is a shortage of supply. So any plans of increasing the capacity within the next few months?
Yeah, Prasanna, I think so. We have just started our second phase of expansion. We have placed orders for the machinery. Unfortunately, with this machinery, from Germany, it takes a good 12 to 15 months before we can commission the second plant. So the second phase of our expansion, which is a bigger plant than what we currently have, should be in commercial production by April 2022. The machinery has now been ordered, and the building construction and so on will start next month in January. Machinery will be delivered to us starting from October 2021. And then again, as I said, in commercial production, April 2022 onwards.
Dr. Anusha, I mean, the second question I have is now at the interim period, till you, increase your capacity, what sort of a support can we get from you in order to, satisfy our customers' demand? So, that is something that we at the moment we are facing a difficulty. What support can you give, your
Well, I think a few things. I think one of the things is that we can, whenever we have time, capacity not being used, we are happy to produce certain counts and keep it in storage. But unfortunately, our capacity, we have very little capacity available at the moment, and it's fully utilized. Nanak, anything more that you can?
Of course, Prasanna. On the other hand, if you can help us getting the projections from your side, definitely, as Dr. Anush mentioned, whenever we got a spare capacity, we'll keep running these counts and keeping the stock. Then we can supply you immediately whenever you want. So help us getting projections as much as possible. That will probably can help each other, definitely.
Can we have the next question, please?
Hi, can you hear me, Doctor?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. This is Dilant from Decathlon. First of all, I'll take this opportunity to congratulate you and your team for this amazing project. And it's a very important project for Sri Lanka and also for the world. I have two questions to you. First question is, I mean, you have an excellent network of bottle collection, island-wide. And do you foresee a threat from the government for the use of waste, I mean, plastic bottle consumption? That is one question. Next question is, do you think you can, do you have any plans of expanding your bottle collection network without, I mean, not only within Sri Lanka, I mean, from the sea, there's a huge amount of waste bottles lying in the sea. And is there any plan that whether you can use an NGO or someone contribution or some sort of a thing to motivate for sea waste collection? Thank you.
Thank you, Dilanta. Thank you for all your support as well, over the past several years, in helping us to get to where we have got to. In terms of your first question, yes, I mean, there's always that threat. There are various comments that are made by government at different points of time. We know that some of the regulation is good regulation, like the banning of single-use plastic, from January of next year. But at the end of the day, plastic is not banned, anywhere else in the world, because by banning, what happens is the alternatives that you have for packaging are more expensive, are much more heavier, difficult to transport, difficult to store, involves a bigger carbon footprint when producing versus plastic. Um, Thanks to PET and plastic today, beverages can be purchased, accessed even in the most remote of villages, which in the past they couldn't do because the packaging was that much more expensive. So the way the world is moving is to promote more and more recycling, because that's really the way it needs to be done, and that's what we keep talking to the government and asking them, supporting them with the beverage companies as well in promoting more and more recycling. But at the end of the day, we run a business, and we can't be dependent on sudden changes in policy. So for that reason, we have approvals to import flakes as well into Sri Lanka, fulfill all our requirements. So for whatever reason, if there is a ban like that, we can always import the necessary requirements and produce the yarn here. I think the next question on the ocean plastics, we do collect, as you know, lots of bottles, lots of plastic from and around the coastline. We have programs going with the various fisheries harbors, where if they take a certain number of bottles to sea, we make sure that same number of empty bottles come back to shore, and we collect those bottles. We haven't explored beyond that. We can, but the thing is, there's so much of bottle waste that is still available in Sri Lanka, and our focus really has been on collecting that before we move to outside the country. I hope that answers your question. We have another question.
I think we have a couple of more questions which have come through the chat platform. Shall we take that as well on screen, please?
So I think currently the lowest we produce commercially is 75 denier. We have experimentally, at lab level, produced down to 50 denier counts, and then with our next phase, our plan is to start, looking at 50 denier in a more sort of a commercial scale. I'm sorry, I should have read the question. I think the question was, now most of the customers are looking for finer counts and microfibers to meet customer hand feel requirements. What is the plan in Beira to cater that requirement? The question is from Harita. So I hope that answers your question, Harita. Yes, at a lab level, we produce 50 denier, and our plan is with the second phase, to start producing 50 denier counts as well.
Right. The next question is from John Gia. The question is, Doctor, what is EcoSpindle's plan when there aren't enough plastic bottles for phase 2?
So, John, I think we can import. We are a BOI approved company. We have as part of the agreement with the Board of Investment, if Sri Lanka was to ever run out of plastic, we can import, and we have imported in the past as well. We have sources, in Thailand, in Bangladesh, in Nepal, for example, where we have brought down flakes in the past, especially during these COVID situations. We've had to import. So we have the necessary approvals to do so, and we will do so if and when there is a need.
Doctor, the next question is by Chandima, or Chandima, I believe. This is related to hand tags. Is this validated through the third party independent created body?
So let me answer that question, Chandima. For the time being, it's not going to be accredited through a third-party laboratory, Chandima, but later on, our plan is to go towards that. But of course, for us to issue the hang tag, it will be validated through EcoSpindles for the moment.
I think we've got one more question on video.
I am Harita. I must congratulate Dr. and Nalaka, Jerome and team, and thank you for organizing this good event. I have one more question. That the other one is there any plan to recycle other than PET bottles? There are like fabric waste, and other than PET bottle, there are some plastic waste in Sri Lanka. So is there any plan that to
so Harita, Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your question and thank you for your support as well. We already do this, Harita. You know, if you take a bottle, the cap of the bottle is a different form of plastic. It's a polypropylene as opposed to PET being the body of the bottle. So PP we use, you know, in our brush filaments. We are one of the largest producers of brush filaments, you know, in this part of the world. So we use those caps there. We and also at a lab level, we have started to use fabric as well, polyester fabric, polyester waste fabric in these monofilaments lines. So it's still at a lab level, still at an experimental level, but our plans are, and it's worked out well so far, and our plans are to expand, you know, that area as well. Initially to go into the monofilament, you know, brush filament lines, but down the line we will be looking at, you know, yarn as well.
I hope that clarifies, and I think we've answered all the questions for the day. And if I may, we can move into the most interesting or the most weighted part of the morning. We will be presenting 18 awards. Why 18 awards is because the selection criteria was to recycle 200,000 or more PET bottles during the past year or so in order to be eligible for this award. So from our valued partners, we have selected 18 business partners who will be awarded today at this valuable ceremony. So to start with, recycling 307,080 PET bottles, we have Pali for the Ocean. Recycling 346,140 PET bottles, we have North Manufacturing Private Limited. Recycling 373,559 PET bottles, we have Ocean Works. Next up, we have YKK India Private Limited, recycling 426,000 PET bottles. Recycling 494,040 PET bottles. Up next, Coates Trade Exports Private Limited. Fantasia Narrow Fabrics Private Limited, recycling 730,184 PET bottles. Natural Group of Companies, recycling 734,180 PET bottles. Next up, we have 755,400 bottles being recycled. DPL Universal Gloves Limited. Recycling 1,080,000, helping the environment by recycling 1,080,000 PET bottles. We have ASICS up next. Trishelle Fabrics Private Limited, recycling 1,080,870 PET bottles. Recycling 1,277,115 PET bottles. We have Calico Color Private Limited. Again with 1,277,115 bottles. We have Adidas. With recycling of 2,295,211 PET bottles. We have MAS Fabrics Private Limited Metrics Division. All right, we have gone through most of our awards now. Before we give out the next 5 awards, this is to appreciate our valued business partners for recycling over 40 million PET bottles and helping our environment to have a better future for the next generations. So at number 5, recycling 4,804,258 PET bottles. We have West Pacific Textiles Lanka Private Limited. At number 4, recycling 9,811,775 PET bottles. We have Haley's Fabrics PLC. Helping the environment by recycling 11,978,700 PET bottles. At 3rd place, we have Decathlon. At number 2, by recycling 17,997,422, we have MAS Krida Division. At number 1, having recycled 18,002,422 PET bottles. We have TJ Lanka PLC. Thank you. I think every one of you, all of you watching us through this platform should give your own applauses and take about yourself for helping this initiative or making our environment better for our future generations. I think plastic have been polluting our nature for a number of years. I think we all should take credit, including Eco Spindles Private Limited, for helping the nature to make a better tomorrow for future generations. While saying that, I would like to thank every one of you taking time off from your busy schedules in the morning to join with us for inaugural award ceremony of Eco Spindles Private Limited. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.